Hello, I'm Shivangi Lohomi. I'm a legal intern at LEXIS and Company. I'm from Yashwantrao Chavan Law College, Pune, Maharashtra. Today, my topic is negotiation. It is a process of dispute resolution between parties through mutual understanding and agreement where there is no involvement of the third party. Negotiation is a contemporary form of dispute resolution. It is a part of ADR, where ADR stands for Alternative Dispute Resolution, system of resolving disputes out of the court. Famous legal maxim, Consilia omnia verbis prius experior quam armis sapintem decet, rightfully suggests that an intelligent man would prefer negotiation before using arms. The word negotiation can be interpreted in a number of ways, and thus the word has a number of definitions. Scope. The process of negotiation started a long time back during the times the kings negotiated at the time of an ongoing war or to prevent the happening of war. We are even aware of the negotiation rounds after the two great world wars in the 20th century, which ultimately resulted in the creation of League of Nations and the United Nations, respectively. Over time, negotiation has increased its scope. The reason is mainly that the parties wish to settle their disputes out of the court. There are several disadvantages of the litigation process, which include bulky paperwork, excessive time, and delays in the process of settlement, with the increase in the frame of negotiation. The demand for experienced negotiators has increased. Advantages of negotiation. Party based dispute resolution. One of the reasons for the absolute success of a negotiation is that negotiation only involves the stakeholders and does not include any other party, as a result of which the negotiation process remains an absolutely private affair. Freedom of the parties. Negotiation ensures that there is absolute freedom of the parties, freedom to set agendas of their choice and to ensure the objective of the negotiation is achieved. Consent of the parties. This process ensures that the consent of both the parties is taken into consideration and the individual interests are well looked after. Successful dispute resolution. The negotiations have possibility of greater successful outcomes because it is ultimately based on the parties' interest and is entirely run by the parties' consent to resolve the dispute. Also, the process of dispute resolution is suited with that of the parties. Strategy oriented. By using the principled approach to the negotiations and considering the various other strategies, one can successfully conclude a negotiation process. Parties can easily come to a win win situation, which is mostly the advantage of negotiations. Now, disadvantages. Power tactic. The parties to negotiation may not always be of equal stature and power. In the absence of neutral third party, the party which is in the position to dominate uses the scope to dominate over the consent of the other party and thus come to an agreement. This play of powers thus is a disadvantage in the negotiation process. The result may be an unfair agreement which later can be relegated to be useless. Unequal agreement. The agreement that the parties arrive at the time of negotiation can be unequal when there is one is a powerful party than the other. Impasse. The dispute and disagreement between the parties sometimes lead to an impasse. An impasse situation at the time of negotiation when the parties to an agreement reached a standstill in their discussion where they cannot proceed with their discussion any longer. It is a stage of frustration of the discussion of the parties. This generally happens when one of the parties is so adamant over its goal that no middle ground can be achieved. Walkout situation. The walkout situation happens when an impasse frustrates the party to the extent that no fruitful discussion can happen any longer. The parties in such situations may storm out of the room and terminate negotiations any further. Strained relations. The unsuccessful rounds of negotiations sometimes lead to bitterness in the relationship. The parties are not ready to come for another round of negotiations and fail to reach an agreement at all. This video doesn't solicit any types of promotion or advertisements as per the guidelines of Bar Council of India, and the sole purpose of this video is for education purposes only. Please like, share and comment on my video and do subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.